We have another here on microphone, is that correct?
Who was in that red car that was following him?
Sorry, I was trying to think of something cute to say, but about the actors. No, look, okay, the deal is, you know, the bits of information are in there, but you've got to kind of sift through to find them. The guy at the bar, who ultimately ends up putting a gun to Dave's head, actually does have family in Sydney, and you know, he's got their details, he's got their address and photos and so on, and he's basically said to his, you know, second cousin kind of thing, who lives out in Cabramatta, just keep an eye on this cat and see what he's up to. You know, just is he talking to people? Is he going to work? Is he living a normal life? And of course, Dave has no idea who they are, but they're really just meant to observe. So when he sort of confronts them and they stop the car, you know, they're sort of arguing amongst themselves in the car about what to do, and the guy who's not driving says, look, that's not brief, let's get out of here, kind of thing. So yeah, they're the real deal, they're the guys keeping an eye on him. Thanks.
We got a microphone right here.
Do you imagine
that
running on fear, being afraid that the Vietnamese mafia was going to come after him, and finally just had to get it out? And what is the reality of his family being safe or unsafe, having told the police, do you think? I know it's a hypothetical question, but...
Yeah, look, I don't know, because you know, the real answer, because I don't sort of operate in those circles, I guess, but the... I would like to think that they actually will be relatively safe. You know, they're taking precautionary measures to sort of, you know, move to a different location, and the authorities will keep an eye on things. And, you know, there'll be a bit of spade work goes on now, I think, from the federal police here in Australia in conjunction with the authorities in Cambodia to try and find out, or try and nail the guys who sort of, you know, ultimately murdered a tourist. So there'll be an investigation, and look, you know, I don't think there's going to be ramifications down on this end in Australia. It's just too far away. These guys haven't really done anything wrong, and I think the guys back in Cambodia will be dealing with it on a more local level. But it's a precaution I think I'd take, and it was a question we consistently asked ourselves through the whole process of writing this movie: what would I do? What would I do? You know, what would we do? Yeah.
Okay, another one on the microphone right there.
Congratulations on such an amazing collaboration, writer and star, and co-writers. How did you co-write together, and did you need separate vacations after?
How do we co-write? Did you need separate vacations?
And did you need separate vacations after?
Yeah, I'll try it over the flick again.
Remarkably, we wrote really well together, actually. The great thing about being married and writing a script together is that you don't have to kind of organise formal meetings like, you know, meet at 10. We were living the script. We were, you know, driving to family barbecues in the car and talking, you know, I've got this great idea about this part of the script, and what if I found a solution for that moment. So we really kind of had all this time where we could just discuss and brainstorm when we were at home. And we were both so committed to the story and making a film because, you know, it was something that was a real goal of ours to make this film. And, you know, we really were tireless with it. We were constantly working and constantly talking about it. Probably bored all of our friends by talking about it. But, yeah, I mean, you know, and then we would write in the same office, and someone would take one scene and write that one, and then someone else would take another scene, and we'd come together and kind of look at, you know, help each other out and work out what was good and not in that scene. I don't know, for some reason it just really worked, because it could really not, you know, working with your husband, but it did.
Okay, we've got one way over there.
So you're dealing with some really, you know, tough subject matter here, a lot of tough emotion, but it comes off as very authentic and very real, very raw. trying to interplay that you have between actors and directors to flesh that out and really bring it to life like you did?
Well, look, I'll try to Joel for that. Go ahead.
Look, we did what a lot of people don't have the luxury of doing. We had a rehearsal period, which I think is really great. I know a lot of people don't do it. A lot of times people aren't available and they arrive, a few days before a shoot and everybody works it out on the fly. But Kieran and Felicity and all of us had a really kind of extensive rehearsal period. We had a lot of time with the kids. And through the rehearsal period, Kieran and Felicity would do a lot of rewriting, and it was a very kind of fertile, space, a very kind of collaborative situation, and so things were incorporated. And even more importantly, I think in rehearsals, you find what doesn't need to be there, so what you can throw away. And then on the days, it was very kind of loose, and it's great. Oftentimes, writers are very specific, and you kind of tiptoe around any idea of changing anything. But sometimes words don't need to be changed. I mean, in circumstances where a set will dictate that the dialogue needs to change, but these guys are really great. So it felt very fluid, and I think that is maybe what's found its way onto the screen.
Okay, well then we'll go to you with the microphone.
Another question for the actors. If I think about the end of the movie where the father sort of comes clean on what had happened and has the breakdown around losing his family and their safety, when the sister comes home and she collapses in her sister's arms in the front of the car, delivering the baby prematurely, they're very intense moments. And so I wonder, do you have to do that more than once? And can you do it more than once?
Yes. If it comes off great, and you do a wonderful first take, awesome, you don't have to give birth again. But if it doesn't, or even if your performance is amazing, but then the cinematographer makes a mistake, which of course never happened on our shoot. But something technical goes wrong, then what do? You've got to go back in there and do it again. And if you pulled your eyes out and the tape wasn't running or something, you've got to do it again. So I guess you just go for it in each take, and then if you have to do it again, you go, okay, do it again.
Look, I just say one thing on that. Directing a movie and acting in a movie, because I'm so fortunate I've sort of been on both sides of it, it's all about trust. Everything's about trust. Now, I've known Joel since he was 17, Flick and I've been married for, 100 years, and so these guys, these guys trust me, and they sort of threw themselves right into that, and trusting your director, from my point of view as an actor, is everything. And as a director, trusting your cast is everything. So it was a very open, collaborative, as Joel pointed out. But the main thing was like Felicity in particular, she knew that I wasn't going to let anything go through, and move on from anything if I didn't believe it. If I didn't think it was honest, and so because she knew that, because she knew me well enough to know that I just wouldn't do that, she was able to relax and just be in the moment all the time. And I think that's the most important thing, is just to be present, stay true to whatever it is is going on in the scene, and forget about the circus around you. And Felicity's very, very good at that. She's a very focused and disciplined actor. And Joel, he's remarkable. The guy's a legend, and to have him and his trust, it's worth its weight in gold. So I mean, it's all about that. That's an answer to the question as well. Not really, is it?